Hey, little on top 10s here. Some call them conspiracy theories. Loony or not, many hypotheses about history contain more than just a glimmer of truth. From secret societies to unrecorded interactions, the possibilities of alternate history are many. These 10 are just some of the more fascinating examples. Alright. PC Game Dude here as the narrator, alright? As of always, little on top 10 is another word for PC Game Dude will make a top 10, so just remember that. Alright, number 10 is the Knights Templar and the Mandeans. So, if you think about this, Mandeans are an ethno-religious people native to southern Iraq and southwestern Iran. Their religion, Mandeanism, closely resembles the Gnostic faith of Manichaeism. According to some scholars, the Mandeans first appeared either before or during the arrival of Christianity. So, during the time of the Crusades, the Mandeans were known as skilled goldsmiths. This trade may have brought them into close contact with the Knights Templar, the legendary warrior monks, who frequently relied on local trade to survive. The Mandeans worshipped John the Baptist as the world's true savior. In the Gospels, St. John the Baptist is decapitated and is presented to the vicious Salome, the stepdaughter of Herod Antipas. Interestingly, after they were rounded up by the French king Philip IV, the Templars are accused of worshipping a severed and embalmed head. Could this be a relic of St. John the Baptist? Did the Templars adopt some Gnostic traditions after their long residence in the Middle East? Well, more research will be found to know. Number 9. The Ismailis and the Islamic Golden Age. Unlike the largest section of Islam, Sunni Islam, the Islamis belong to the Shiite branch. However, unlike Orthodox Shiites, Islamis are not Twelvers, so they do not subscribe to the belief in the 12 Imams as the true spiritual successors of Muhammad. Furthermore, the Ismaili community openly accepts certain non-Muslim traditions, including Christian ethics and Greek philosophy. Because of this, the Islamis are frequently persecuted in many fundamentalist countries. During the Fatimid Caliphate, which is from 909 to 1171 AD, Islamic caliphs ruled the empire while Islamic dies or scholars produced a wealth of Islamic texts that incorporated Western and Eastern exotericism, Gnosticism, and classical learning. Because of this, it has been suggested that open-minded Islamism brought about Islam's golden age and facilitated the Arabic and Persian translations of Jewish, Greek, and Roman texts. Unfortunately, thanks to the Abbasid Caliphate and the entrenched power of Sunni Islam, the Islamis were suppressed and forced to go underground for many more centuries. Number 8. The bear cult hypothesis. Now, everyone knows about this, especially historians. Now, they theorized about the ancient Indo-Europeans. Well, they had two primary cults that all tribes shared. These two cults recognized wolves and bears as sacred animals, whereas the wolf symbolized masculinity, virility, and the power of the tribe. The bear represented motherhood and fertility. By the time of Sanskrit Rigveda, the power of the bear cult had noticeably declined. However, in looking through other ancient texts, echoes of the bear cult remain. The Anglo-Saxon Beowulf is similar to the Icelandic saga of Bodvar Bajaki, whose name translates to battle bear. The Nordic berserker warriors also highlight this ancient European appreciation of the bear. Alright. But yeah, if you think about it, if you believe this, it's pretty nice. Number 7. The original Koreans of Japan. So, alright, currently almost 1 million Zainichi Koreans live in Japan. many are the descendants of workers who moved to Japan during World War II, while others came earlier after the Japanese conquest of Korea back in 1910. Most speak Japanese as their first language. According to a genetic survey produced by the Graduate University for Advanced Studies in Japan, modern Japanese people may in fact be the descendants of Koreans themselves. Specifically, researchers believe that the Japanese language and culture developed after the native settlers of the archipelago, or what I'd call the Jomad people. Those are the native settlers. They're intermarried with the Yoi people, who cross the strait from what is today Korea. Obviously, given the sometimes continuous relations between Japan and South Korea, this theory is not accepted by everyone in Japan. Number 6. The Baltic origins of the ancient Greeks. The notion that the ancient Greeks may have had some deep connections to the Baltic is mostly supported by certain readings of the Iliad and the Odyssey, both created by Homer himself. According to believers, Homer's epic poems recount faded memories of Greece's Baltic ancestors come down through the Danube and other rivers to settle in Greece. Furthermore, these scholars claim the geography of the Odyssey only makes sense in the Baltic or North Sea, not the Mediterranean. Because this theory remains many of a Nordicism, or the theory that the ancient Greeks were racially Nordic, it is not generally popular or widely accepted. The main proponent of this theory, Italian engineer and amateur historian Felice Vinci, has presented some evidence to back up this theory. Number 5. The Masonic conspiracies of France. The Freemasons always had been the targets of numerous conspiracy theorists throughout the ages, because of their secrecy, their slightly disturbing rituals, and their popularity among the wealthy and powerful. The Freemasons are easy targets. In France during the 19th century, right-wing nationalists and Catholic conservatives latched into certain Freemason conspiracies to explain France's martial and political decline following the Franco-Prussian War. One of the more outlandish theories was put forth by Leo Taxau, a known hoaxer and convert to Catholicism, who wrote a book that claimed Freemasons worship the Satan, or devil. Interestingly, all this attention on the Freemasons revealed serious connections between Masonic rituals and Gnostic Christianity. Therefore, French and other writers have openly wondered whether the Freemasons are somehow connected to the same historic lineage as the Knights Templar or the Islamis. Number 4. Wait a minute, is it number 4? Yeah, alright. Number 4 is the lost Jews and Muslims of the New World. So, beginning in the 1980s, word spread that many longtime residents of New Mexico believed they were descendants of Spanish conversos. Excuse me. During the Spanish Inquisition, many Jews were forced to convert to Catholicism or face severe persecution. Many of these conversos continued to practice their ancient Jewish faith in secret. However, therefore, many believe that these conversos continued to practice Judaism in the Spanish colony of New Mexico. DNA tests released in the early 2000s confirmed that many modern Latinos have a Sephardic Jewish ancestry. Jews are not the only religious group who have may have landed in the New Mexico territory or in the New World. Spanish Muslims, known as Moriscos, were also likely intermarried with native tribes and Spanish Catholics. Thus, many Latinos may have also have DNA that links them to Morocco and Algeria. Number 3. Are modern Lebanese the true descendants of Phoenicia? That's a question of the hour. In 2016, a team representing the University of Otago and the Lebanese American University found that for the first time ever, a complete mitochondrial genome of a Phoenician individual. This 2,500-year-old man, known as the Young Man of Burza, was found on the hillsides of Carthage in Tunisia. According to the two primary scientists, the Phoenicians, who were native to, what is now coastal Lebanon, contained the European U5B2CL haplogroup. So Phoenicans may have both the descendants of European hunter-gatherers and the first people to introduce European DNA to North Africa. This interesting find unleashed another question. How much Phoenician DNA is left among the Lebanese? According to certain researchers, today's Christian and Muslim populations of Lebanon still have traces of Phoenician DNA. In the political realm, this finding has unscored the fairly common belief among Lebanese people that they are not Arabic and do not share a cultural affinity with the Arab world. Number 2. William Shakespeare, spy. So, the idea that famous playwright William Shakespeare worked for Her Majesty, well, that's part of the wider theory that Shakespeare was not the true author of his plays. One theory, which claims that William Stanley, the 6th Earl of Derby, wrote the Bard's plays, based itself on the pen of a ghost spy named George Venner. In a letter dated from 1599, Venner claims bluntly that Stanley was actually the real author. Sorry about that, guys. This connection to espionage is interesting, for many believe that Shakespeare was himself a spy. One camp believes that he was a secret Catholic who spied on English Protestants, while others believe that he worked directly for London as a German agent. Well, most of the evidence with this suppositions are based on some of Shakespeare's letters, which read like intelligence reports about the wealthy gentry in the English countryside. That's pretty interesting. I would never think of William Shakespeare as a spy. Alright, we go on to number 1. But before we go on to number 1, make sure you subscribe to my channel, like this video, and support me on Patreon, okay? You guys should know that Patreon. Just check out my other videos. Number 1. Anyway, number 1. Aleister Crowley, spy and occult integrator. Now, you may know this guy, but he is the wickedest man in the world. Well, he is considered one of the Western world's foremost occultists, the Great Beast. Well, he was a great proponent of sex magic, which, to modern eyes, looks like provision dressed up in mumbo-jumbo. Some historians had claimed that this was part of Crowley's cover for the chubby man from Warwickshire who was a secret agent for the British Empire. Richard B. Spence's Secret Agent 666. Sorry, I just have a cough. Well, they point out that Crowley's ability to always travel well without a clear source of income, plus his connections to the pro-German element in America during World War I, are clear indications that he was actually a spy. One of the more popular beliefs is that during World War II, Crowley was tapped by Naval Intelligence Officer Ian Fleming, the actual author of James Bond, to integrate Rudolf Hess in Scotland. Hess, Hitler's deputy, and a known occultist, was supposedly grilled by Crowley for hours and subjected to Crowley's extremely spicy curry, a real habaneros, I guess. I'm not sure if habaneros were actually out like that. But years later, Crowley would appear in the first James novel as a villain, the Correct. Alright guys, that is it for right now. If you have any other facts that make some... let's see here. Let me actually figure this out real quick. But, I should say that if you have any other alternative theories that could change the view of your history, just let me know in the comments down below. Alright, anyway guys, that is it for right now, and see you guys next time in another awesome Top 10. Take care.